What's up, guys? Doo Poker here. 25NL Blitz Streets. Little big slick action. Okay, so important here. Most people would 4-bet this, right? We're not going to do that. You always want to play your hand in a way that your opponents do not suspect, as default. I'm going to keep saying as a default because it's one of my favorite sayings. Okay, so in this spot, right? He probably does not think we have ace-king in this spot, but we do. So this is good. I mean, it's not a great flop, but we're always calling flop, right? He's going to overbarrel a king or ace turn, and that's going to help us. Okay, so this turn's actually really good for us too. So he's going to overbarrel ace-queen offsuit. Ace-10 suited. Could have the same hand as us. So we always call turn here. Actually, you know what might even be better than calling turn? Okay, so he has showdown value. Oh, he has showdown value now. Now he has 10s or 9s. Or possibly 8s. Alright, we have to bluff this. Yeah, because he has like 10s or 9s here. So, think about this for a second. Why would he check turn? Think about that. Why would he check turn? Well, he's probably betting his ace-king, his ace-queen, his ace-10 suited, right? His ace-jack suited. So when he checks that turn, he's going to have high-frequency 10s, 9s. You could have hit that 8, 7s, right? So you actually do not have as much showdown value as you think. Even though, because the solver is going to be balanced, right? But players aren't balanced. So when they check that turn, you have to bluff that river. You have to bluff that river because you have less showdown value than theory. Important principle for a 3-bet pot, out of position, pre-flop caller. Okay. Alright, pocket 10s in the big blind. Let's see how it goes. This guy is a aggro fish. We're going to raise the aggro fish. Don't steal my blinds, buddy. He's going to call. Okay, so this is fish play 101. Okay, so we know this is not a range bet in theory, but we don't care about theory. How are we going to stack the fish? We want to put the fish in a node. Did not bluff with air. It's not good. So I'm going to go small. I'm trying to induce a raise here. Right? Okay, obviously not a good turn for us. But he's going to have a wider pre-flop range than normal. So this is good for us, right? So the question becomes now, should I jam because there's so many bad rivers for us? A king's bad, a queen's bad, a 7's bad, an 8's bad, a spade's bad. So I think I'm going to jam. If it came a more innocuous, if this was just like a jack of like hearts, I would just call here because there's not many bad rivers, but I'm just going to jam here to protect myself. Yeah, that was good. All right. I mean, obviously I run terrible, but good play by me. I'm still happy with how I played that. Because I think you have to jam the turn. Yeah, I like jamming the turn there. Whereas if the turn was like a jack of hearts, you just if the turn's a jack of hearts, you just call. 120 big blinds deep. See what happens. All right. So, on these boards, you can go small. The thing is here is the king and the 10 block a lot of my flushes. So, but the king is good for me. I'm trying to think. I'm not sure if this is a range bet or not. I need to look this spot up. I'm just going to go small, though. So you go like bet 20 here, right? Something like that. I think it's a good play. I want to know what theory is, though, because... man. I think I have to call 1. I think I can't fold right now. I have to call 1. So, let's think about it from his perspective. The king blocks a ton of flushes, right? He can't have... He probably 4-bets ace-king suited, but he can't have king-queen suited. He can't have king-jack. The 10 blocks a ton. Okay. So now I think I want to turn my hand into a bluff. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to turn my hand into a bluff here. I have more queen than him. I have queens. He doesn't have queens. I have ace of spades. I'm trying to get him off like a jack, basically. I'm not sure about that river play. I have to look that up. But I think I would rather overbluff there because it's such an underbluff spot. Like, if he has... I'm basically, if he folds, like... I had a king, right? But the thing is this. Here's my thing. I have so much ace of spades. I have so much queen of spades because I have all ace queen off. I have all pocket queens, right? I have all ace king off. So I think I like that. Queen 9 off. Let's see what we got here. Anything good? 22 tons. 4 folds of 4 bets. We don't know yet. Okay, so this is a spot. This is an important spot, actually. This is a spot where you have two sizings on the flop. You bet really small, and then you bet really big. And you don't range. So I want to put the queen 9 in the check range. You could also bet small if you wanted to. Okay, so this is a mistake by him. You don't use this sizing for stabbing on ace high boards. So we're gonna call. 5 of spades on the turn. I'm trying to think. He bet small on the flop. The OB on the flush complete. I actually know this. The bet on the flush complete, yeah, is weak. Is weak. Yeah. The OB on the flush complete's weak. The OB on the flush complete. See, I'm going back to the... I don't think... Because he bet 30. Remember? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going back to the bet 30 data point. The bet 30 data point is very important. So... Okay, here's my thing. I've looked at MDA for flush complete turns after bet 30 OB, and I know that's overbluffed. I know the turn's overbluffed guaranteed, but I'm not sure about the river. The river, I was just thinking... see, here's my thinking for the river. I don't think he OBs river because the board paired, right? So I think he would size down if he had value, right? And he should be worried about me having a flush. So, like, what hand really wants to... When the nuts change, so the nuts change from turn to river, right? So when the nuts change and you OB, if the nuts change again, you don't OB river, right? Like, if you have a flush, you don't OB again because I could have a boat now. So you would size down. So I think his sizing was a tell there. Like, you don't go huge when the nuts change. It's important. It's an important concept right there. That's a good hand. What's up, guys? It's Doo-Doo Poker here. We're playing a little 25NL Blitz. This guy just opened in our cutoff, and we decided to 3-bet it. Okay, so first thing to note, not a range bet. 10 high boards are very bad for you. He has more 10x than us. So what we're going to do is we're going to check. So he insta-checks back. Okay, so us blocking ace-jack is strong. It looks like I have an ace, right? Okay. If it looks like I have an ace, I should bet my ace. Now, he could have ace-queen. I'm worried about ace-queen, but I still think it's good play. So, basically what you can take away from that is 10-5-2, especially with a flush draw. When you look at the range composition, cutoff has more 10x than small blind. So we don't range bet. If I had to guess on the percentages, like what a solver would do, I would say maybe like, what was it, 10-5-2? I would say 50-50, if I had to guess. 50-50. I'm going 50-50. But it's important not to range bet that spot. And you can still like check raise, and because they overfold in MDA, what you learn is when you check flop and they stab, they overfold the check raises. So you want to be check raising flops as the out of position 3-bet pot pre-flop raiser more than theory. 2+2 guy. All right. You either bet big or bet small, but it's not a range bet. This is important. So he decides to check back. Okay. So I have showdown value, so I'm going to check. We always call. Let's check. So because he bets small on the turn, this is important, guys. Because he bets small on the turn, that's a tell for him being weak. So you always call this river. So him betting small on the turn was a tell that he was weak, because a strong hand wouldn't bet small on the turn. So now we always call river, right? So when you look at MDA and you look at the check, bet small, bet big line, it's over bluffed. So now we can call. What's up, guys? Doo-Doo Poker here. This is a little out of line, but we need to get into some spots. Okay, so first things first. We know it's not a range bet, right? 7-4-3. So we have to check. Probably if you bet here, you're basically going to use bigger sizing. Like if you bet, you're not going to use 1/3 here, right? So we're going to check. So he bets big and he bets fast. That's troublesome. Troublesome for us. So he could have a hand like pocket 8s, pocket 9s. So I think what you want to do here is just jam. Because he bet too big, so I'm trying to get him off like 9s and 8s, right? Do you think 9s and 8s call, or all right, let's see, 8s, 9s, and 10s. Do you think 8s, 9s, and 10s calls a check raise there? Because we have the overpair advantage in that spot, right? We have all aces, kings, queens, jacks. He'll have some jacks, but he'll mostly 4-bet aces, kings, and queens. So we're basically targeting a hand like 8s, 9s, or 10s. Do we think 8s, 9s, or 10s folds? Probably. And if he calls, well, we still have, how many outs do we have? 9? Yeah, 9 outs. The four straight outs and then the 5 pair outs, so we're good. I like that play. But the important point to know is it's not a range bet. That's the important point. Alright, so that was a good spot. Let's continue. You also have to understand in that spot, that sizing is too big for the spot. Okay? It's almost like a scared sizing. Like, when he bets that big, he's kind of scared. You'll see this with, like, I hate keep going back to live poker, but you'll see this with people with jacks pre-flop. They'll raise way more than they're supposed to. Okay, remember what we talked about. 10 high boards are not good for the out of position 3-bet pre-flop raiser in this formation. So, what do we do? We're going to check. He has more 10x than us. That's the important point. So when he checks back and the turn is not favorable, you should check again, right? The turn's not good, but he checked pretty quickly. I can have... All right, I'm going to check again. MDA would bet here. I know that, right? The thing is he can have some ace-queen, but I still think I have enough showdown value. Yeah, I'm just going to check. This is an interesting spot. It went check, 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 check. Pocket nines. Okay. I'll take that all day. See, this is why you don't bet turn. This is what I'm saying. You don't... Alright, so when the flop goes check, check, and the turn is not favorable for you, you need to check. We need to look that hand up. Ace jack off. Alright, so this is kind of a weird spot. I mean, jeez. Man. Solver would always jam here. I'm just going to call. Solver would always jam. I'm just going to call this. This is a really weird spot, guys. Because I don't think... This guy's range is high ace-king, aces and kings, right? So if he has 16 combos of ace-king, but he has 12 combos of aces and kings, well, what do you do versus that? You're ahead of his range, right? Okay, so now that they both checked, I'm just going to jam. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't jam because I'm targeting ace-king and I'm targeting... This guy could have 8s, 9s, 10s, jacks. So I think what we'll do here is we'll just bet... We're going to bet small. We're going to bet small. Okay, so I think this guy could have like ace-king with it. I don't think this guy has aces or kings here. I do not. I think it's going to be like ace-king with a diamond. He could have jacks as well. So you want to go small again because we're targeting ace-king again, right? So we're going to go small again. Always go small in these spots. Because we're not scared. We're not scared of... Okay, so I think he has jacks here. Jacks, you know, 10s is possible too. There's no way he has the discipline. There's no way he has the discipline to check back. No, there's just no way. He has jacks. He doesn't have the discipline with aces. There's no way. So he has the discipline. Yeah, thank you. Okay. He has the discipline to call every street. There's just not a chance. You'd have to have like Dalai Lama discipline to call down with aces there. So I like that play with the 4-bet pot. I like the call. I think a solver, I'm not sure what a solver would do, but I think I like calling better. See, in a lot of spots, you want to deviate from GTO based on how people play. Like, if I just jam there, does he have a folding range? No. What hand is going to cold 4-bet from the big blind, from a cutoff RFI SB 3-bet, and fold to a jam? They're all going to call. There's, like, no folding range. So why would I jam when I'm in position? It doesn't make any sense. I should just call. I'll have to look that hand up later, though. That was a really cool hand. All right. I actually thought he had jacks there. I didn't think ace-king would call down. Either way, though. I'll take it. And you always want to go small there. You don't want to jam turn there because you're trying to target the hand he has. You're trying to target jacks and ace-king. So you never jam turn there because you have to look at the board. The board, although the board was dynamic, those cards completely missed his range. It was like 7. It was like all low cards, right? Okay, so all low cards, and he has a cold 4-bet range. Like, he doesn't have a 5 ever unless it's ace-5, maybe. Unlikely he has that. It's not even in a cold 4-bet range, so. Yeah, I like the way I played that. I think that was good. I want to look that hand up later. I think that was an important hand. Good, we're getting some good footage. I'm happy. Very happy. Now I just need to learn how to edit these videos and stop being an edit fish. Alright, we're gonna get a little out of line here. Although it's the next hand class down. Like, sixes does this. In theory. It's not a huge EV loss to do with threes. These guys are gonna under 4-bet. So. Should be okay. Alright. First thing you always want to know. Is this a range bet? Ace, 8, 6. I'm trying to think. The 6 and the 8 are kind of bad. I would still range it though. I'm going to range small. We'll range small here. Alright. I think me having a spade is good. What are my bluffs here? I guess queen jack. Yeah, queen jack. I'm trying to think of my bluffs here. He snap checks. So as a default, you should check. I'm going to see if this works. I'm going to see if this works. I want to see if this works. Wow, he's snap folded. He's snap folded. I'm not sure about that line with the threes. I have to think about it. Usually I do that for value.